it's a complete compendium in all functions of management, be the staff, the line, the human resources, man management, call it what it was. And every single thing is there. And so it is something which I think all of us need to read. Sir, I was particularly impressed about your emphasis on teamwork and delegation as a very interesting concept. And that is why I was in government service and you are in the private sector. Because in government service we can afford not to delegate. We can afford to do a one-man job, whereas in your institute you had to do teamwork and delegation. And that's why I think it is a very interesting concept that you said of delegation and teamwork. The other interesting observation that I found is your art of convincing people, or rather persuading people to your point of view and get it done the way you want it done. I think you can't have a better example than my standing before you, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, addressing you. I tried my best to dissuade Mr. Ramadorai from getting me onto this podium and exposing me before this audience, because I knew this audience is going to be an August audience, because if it is Dr. Ramadorai's meeting, it has to be an August audience. So I said I didn't want to get exposed. Normally I keep talking to audiences where I probably can manage. But this audience I thought was a little dangerous audience, so I thought I would escape. So on 2 occasions we tried. He did on 1 occasion, I did on 1 occasion, but then I was only hoping that even on 3rd occasion it would happen. But God Almighty said, no, I think you better face it, and at some point of your life you might get exposed. And that's why I'm standing before you. I mean, his art was persuasion. So your other concept of let 100 flowers bloom, and hearing the enunciations of every single member of your team, I think this is noteworthy. I mean, because many times what happens is our communication lines get choked. There is no two-way communication. Most of the time it's one-way communication. It's a monologue. It is not a dialogue. And I think Mr. Ramadorai's success lay in this two-way communication and hearing out his people, his teammates say what they want to say. Even the smallest of them may have a brilliant idea. I'm reminded of the event in Ramayana when Lord Ram wanted to cross the Setu and bridges were being built by the Vanara Sena, who brought big boulders and they're placing it on place to build a bridge across to go to Sri Lanka. At the time, a small little squirrel was found picking up a few pebbles and trying to take it towards the bridge. The Vanaras laughed and said, "Oh, you little squirrel, what are you trying to do here? This is a job which Vanaras taking big boulders will do." The Rama took over the squirrel on his hand and sort of quietly smiled. That is where you have the 2 lines on the squirrel's back. And they said, even this squirrel can do a little big job. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I spoke for these few minutes because I was given a time slot, and I thought I had to sort of fill up that time slot with whatever I could say, make sense, make nonsense, or whatever it is. But I had to say, because ultimately the governor spoke very well. I know that, and I'm absolutely clear about that, so I have nothing to worry on. Has been complimented for a wonderful speech. I mean, mind-boggling, whatever you can. Actually, I would have finished my speech in spot 3 seconds. That is all that I had to say here. Rama ni samanam eva dora. I think that in one word sums up what Mr. Ramadorai is and what his life has all been. Thank you very much, sir. It's been a great privilege for me to unveil this book of yours. And I told you it's been an eye-opener, and I do hope we really circulate this to all our management schools and many of the private limited companies and probably even the public sector, the government sector. Because a lot of lessons which we can learn even in the government. It is not something which is sort of success over in the private sector, but I think it will be useful to circulate this book as much as we can. And I do hope, sir, to see many more of your such writings, or at least your speeches. And I think your speeches are a delight to listen. And I wish you all success, and may God be with you and Mrs. Ramadorai in all your endeavors. Thank you very much.